You know that feeling when you finish a book or a movie and just think, wow, how did they do that? It really feels like magic, right? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain. And look, we're not talking about some dusty, boring jargon here. We're talking about the actual practical tools that storytellers use to build entire worlds, to make you feel something real, and to create a story that just sticks with you. So yeah, welcome to the Storyteller's Toolkit.
So, what is that secret? What's the thing that makes a story really resonate? So much so that you're still thinking about it days or even weeks later. Is it, I don't know, a brilliant character, a crazy plot twist, or maybe just one line of dialogue that hits you right in the heart? Well, it's kind of all of those things. But the answer, it's not some big, unsolvable mystery.
Because here's the thing, it's not magic, it's a craft. And just like any craft, it has its tools. Think about it, a carpenter has a hammer and a saw, right? Well, a storyteller has their own toolkit. And here's the cool part, learning about these tools doesn't spoil the magic at all. If anything, it makes you appreciate the artistry even more. It's like getting a peek at the blueprints of your favorite building.
All right, so we've split our toolkit into two main sections. First up, we're going to look at the blueprint, which is all about narrative structure. And then we'll get into the details, which covers figurative language.
Okay, let's dive into that blueprint. We're talking about the absolute architectural tools that build a story's foundation. These are the big ones, the things that hold the whole story together.
And first things first, you can't have a story without a protagonist. This is your main character. Simple as that. There are eyes and ears, the person guiding us through this new world. And hey, whether you love them or hate them, their journey is the whole reason we're here. Everything, and I mean everything, revolves around them.
But a protagonist just sitting around with nothing to do? That's not really a story. It's more like a painting. They need a problem, something to push against. And that, my friends, is conflict. It's the engine that drives the whole narrative forward. It's the struggle, the big obstacle. Seriously, without conflict, you've got no tension, no stakes, and basically no story.
So how does that conflict actually unfold? Well, it's a whole journey. First, you get the complication. This is where the problem pops up and things start to get, well, complicated. From there, it builds up to a crisis, that big, crucial turning point where you're on the edge of your seat. That crisis often causes a reversal, which is just a fancy way of saying a total flip in the character's luck. Could be for the better, could be for the worse. And finally, after all that, we get to the resolution where the main problem is finally dealt with, one way or another. That whole path, that's the story's journey.
Okay, now here's a really clever tool that writers use to play with that journey: foreshadowing. This is all about dropping little hints along the way. It could be a weird object, a throwaway line, anything really, that hints at what's going to happen later. It's brilliant because it builds up all this suspense, and the best part? It rewards you for paying attention. When the big thing finally happens, you get that awesome aha moment where it all clicks into place.
All right, time to open the second tray in our toolkit, the details. We've got the foundation down. Now we're talking about the artistic tools, the figurative language that adds all the color, depth, and emotion to the story.
And we're going to start with atmosphere. The easiest way to think about this is like the lighting or the soundtrack in a movie. It's the mood of the scene. Is it spooky? Is it romantic? Is it super tense? The author builds that whole feeling just with their choice of words. It's what makes you actually feel the story, not just read it.
Okay, let's talk about two heavy hitters that people get mixed up all the time: metaphor and simile. Now, they both do the same basic job. They take a big abstract idea, like love or courage or whatever, and make it concrete with a cool image. The difference between them is super, super tiny, but it's important. A simile uses the word like or as. A metaphor doesn't. That's it. That's the whole secret.
So take a look at this example of a metaphor. My love is a Grand Canyon of longing. See how direct that is? It's not saying it's like a Grand Canyon, it's saying it is one. It's this powerful statement that makes an abstract feeling feel absolutely huge, deep, and real.
Now, watch what happens when we add just one little word. My love is like a Grand Canyon of longing. Boom! Now it's a simile. It's not a direct statement anymore, it's a comparison. The image is still great, don't get me wrong, but the way it works is different. It's basically saying, hey, to help you get what I'm feeling, let's compare it to this other thing. So one is something and the other is like something.
And last but not least in this tray, we have the symbol. This is an amazing tool for packing giant ideas into small, neat little packages. A symbol is basically any person, place, or thing that stands for a bigger, more abstract idea. You know, like how a dove can represent peace, or a storm can represent someone's inner chaos. It's how writers add all these extra layers of meaning to a story without having to spell everything out for you.
So there you have it. When you put it all together, from the protagonist that gets you invested, to the conflict that keeps the pages turning, all the way to the little symbols that add so much depth, you start to see that every great story is just a masterclass in using the right tools. And the best part is, you now have the keys to that very same toolkit. You can see the blueprint and appreciate all the fancy details.
And that's really what I want to leave you with. Because now that you know what to look for, the real fun begins. The next time you pick up a book or turn on a movie, have this little toolkit in the back of your mind. See what you can spot. Ask yourself, which of these tools is the creator using right now, and why? How are they using it to pull you into the story? Go on, give it a try.